Have you ever been sat there listening to somebody tell a story and feel like you're in that story, feel like you're a part of it, feel like you was there on the day that they're speaking? And I'll ask, have you ever been there with somebody speaking and you can't wait for them to finish? Now, the question is, what one are we? By the end of this video, you're gonna have a clear understanding how to speak on camera, how to come across better on camera. Now, the principles of speaking on camera and speaking in person are very much the same. Later in this video, I'm actually gonna expose myself. I'm gonna show you a video of me speaking. I think it was maybe my 15th attempt. You'll see it's not good. But first, I need to play you a video of me speaking when I was 18 years old. To react to setbacks that come my way in a positive way and to keep making a difference as long as. So why do we say and most importantly, how can we get rid of in our language when we're speaking, when we're communicating with people? How can we remove every sentence I would add an and it's quite an unconscious thing. We're not consciously thinking to say we just do it to fill the space. Now there's a couple of reasons why we say and there's a couple of ways that we can slowly start to get rid of it. We say why? Because we're thinking of what to say next. Now, when we say it can come across as we don't know what we're talking about. When you do, we'll go back to it with your friends or maybe by yourself. You're not saying You're not saying or rarely. You're just in a conversation or you're saying a joke or whatever and you're having a really good time and there's no pressure. In those moments where there's no pressure, we rarely say Now, the single best way to remove when you're speaking on camera or when you're speaking in general is to pause. Every time you get towards the end of a sentence, take a pause. What does this do? Well, when we take a pause, we allow the viewer, we allow the person on the receiving end to actually process what we just said. When we say and then say the next thing, that maybe you just dropped a gem, but that person that's listening is going to be, on to the next like you are. But if we take a moment to pause, it gives them the space and time to process what you just said. Now, another way to get rid of is now become super conscious of it. This is going to feel really annoying and you're going to be like, oh, flip, every sentence, you're going to notice it and you're going to realize how often you say it. But every time you say pause and say, I said do it when you're in a conversation, do it when you're speaking on camera, do it whenever you're speaking. If you say pause, let the person know, I'm working on this. I'm speaking and I said and I'm trying to cut it out. And then go back and say your point again. Do that a couple of times and you'll become incredibly conscious of it. Once you do those two things for long enough, start taking pauses and notice every time that you say become conscious of it. When the mind becomes conscious of it, it starts to try to fix things. It's the things that we do unconsciously that don't get fixed. Now for myself, after doing those two things, it absolutely changed the way I spoke, just in general. I very rarely say and when I do say it still happens. I catch it. It's like a stone being thrown at me. I catch it and I'm like, right, we ain't doing that again, and I'll drop it. When you do it over and over and over and over again, naturally it will get better. However, what I will say, when it comes to repetitions actually is a fallacy when it comes to improving, which means people think the more you do something, the more you get better. Partially right. However, the main part of getting better, especially when it comes to our speaking, is feedback loops. As I said with the pause, go back, or become conscious of it, recognize that you've done it, pause and go back. And that feedback, that becoming conscious of what you're doing and then giving yourself feedback on it, that's the process of getting better. If you go up to a 50-year-old, if you have a conversation with a 50-year-old and you're 20 years old, they've been speaking for 30 years longer than you have, which means they have hundreds of thousands of repetitions on you. So if that's the case, then how come there's people in their 20s that can speak incredibly well, people in their 30s that can speak incredibly well, but there's people in their 50s and 60s that are still saying every other sentence? Now, it's not because they're dumb. But it's because they haven't had the feedback loops in their conversation, haven't had the feedback loops in watching themselves speak, haven't had the internal feedback loops in watching themselves in their communication, which means the bad habits that they've been practicing, they've just been practicing them over and over again. If you practice a bad habit over and over again, you'll get good at the bad habit, not good at a good habit. And that's going to take us on to our final point of how to master speaking on camera. Record yourself. And I think he's referencing, to, I think he's referencing to record a minute. If you don't know what to talk about, no problem. Get your phone out and ask yourself a couple of questions. I don't know. What's your favorite color? Why? What's your favorite sports team and why? What is it you like about that sports team? What's your favorite car? Why do you like the car? What does it do? What emotions does it make you feel? And watch it back. Record yourself. You just need your phone. Don't need a special camera. Just watch it. It's gonna be cringy. You're gonna be like, you're not gonna be able to watch it properly. You may pause and get that off. But what's gonna happen is that's the start. That's the spark of becoming conscious of your speech. Do that over and over again. Every other day, record yourself for a minute, then 2 minutes, then 3 minutes, then 5 minutes. Then you'll have a 10-minute video of you speaking. Now, that 10-minute video is going to be poor. It's going to be low quality. You're not going to be speaking well. You're not going to come across well. Your points will not be potent. You're going to be stuttering and You're going to be doing all of that stuff. You have to go through those phases. That's just how it goes. However, you will start to refine. And after a week, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you're going to start watching these videos and you're going to see micro improvements. You will see it in real time. You'll watch yourself and be like, oh, flip. I didn't stutter there. Normally I say that word and I stutter. Normally I do that thing and it stops me. And normally I've got to go back. Or I made it 30 seconds in without having to start again. And you start to notice, you start pick up the small wins. Watch yourself back over and over again. That one don't feel nice. I made this video because it took me so long. It feels like ages. And I can't tell you the amount of times I nearly gave up when it comes to just speaking on camera. And just thought, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I can't speak well. Some people, you'll see them, you meet them, and they just speak really well. I've got a friend, he just speaks fantastic and doesn't have to work that much on it. That's just natural. Some people can. You know what I mean? Some people are in great shape. Yeah, some people. But this is a skill that you probably want to develop. I knew that it was a skill that I definitely wanted to develop. And those two things really, really helped me. Once we get to that baseline of being able to speak on camera, that's great. But then there's like another level of once we're comfortable, we're able to speak on camera, we feel fine. Then we get to like this next point where it's like, now I want to come across really well on camera, not just speak. And with that, we have to play with our voice box, create rhythm, tonality, tempo. But that's all additional stuff. Now, the two main things that helped me significantly increase my ability to speak on camera was every time I said stopping myself. I was in Zoom calls and I'll say, yo, stop the meeting. I said and I'll go back. I've actually done this. And also just creating 1 to 5 minute videos speaking about a topic, a football team, or whatever, and watching it back over and over again and realizing, all right, cool, I don't like that, cool, I don't like that. And then practicing. I hope you like the mic as well. I got a new mic. It's not bad. It's not bad. I hope it sounds all right. But yeah, I just said keep that in. Guys, love. See you in a bit.